The Gloster Meteor is a British-built jet fighter that holds the unique distinction of being the only Allied fighter jet to operate during World War II. Its development began during the heat of the conflict in 1940, powered by pioneering turbojet engines designed by Frank Whittle and Power Jets Limited. It first took to the skies in 1943, and it became operational on July 27, 1944, with the Royal Air Force Squadron Number 616. It proved to be an effective combat fighter due to how relatively easy it was to fly, even though its tenure during the war was quite limited since it entered service near the end of the conflict. Today, we're going to take a closer look at the history of the Gloster Meteor fighter jet. Frank Whittle was an aerospace pioneer that founded Power Jets Limited in 1936. He had attempted multiple times to secure the funding necessary to support the development of jet propulsion, but it faced heavy skepticism from the aviation industry leaders at the time until 1939, when the Air Ministry's tone had shifted regarding what was then a novel concept, and Sir Henry Tizard authorized the funding for this project. George Carter was Gloster's aircraft company chief designer, and he saw the potential in Whittle's double-0.1 engine to power twin-engine Meteor aircraft, which was struggling to find an appropriate power plant due to the limited thrust outputs of early jet engines. And so the first Gloster Meteor prototype took to the skies on May 15, 1941, as the first British-made jet-powered aircraft to fly, but not without some setbacks. This aircraft faced extensive production delays due to supply chain issues that happened with the double-0.2 engine, which eventually led the manufacturer to power the plane with Rolls-Royce engines. The first Meteor prototype that featured these engines flew for the first time in March 1943. It had undergone extensive development and was ready to enter service, becoming operational officially on July 27 of 1943. The Gloster Meteor wasn't just a novel aircraft, but a capable and well-armed fighter, equipped with 20mm Hispano cannons, weapons which appeared in multiple different variants. It was an all-metal, twin-engine jet fighter with a conventional straight-wing design, built with modular construction to make it easy to assemble and transport. Its major components included the nose, forward fuselage, center, rear fuselage, and tail units, and it was also fitted with a tricycle landing gear and mid-mounted turbojet engines. The later Meteor F3 model was fitted with engine nacelles that improved its speed and performance, paving the way for the F4 and F8 variants developed after the war. Gloster Aircraft Company also developed a naval-based Meteor prototype which underwent sea trials demonstrating the capabilities of jet-powered aircraft to eventually operate off of aircraft carriers. Different development processes were also put in place for specialized variants of the Meteor, such as the Meteor Night Fighter series, developed by Armstrong Whitworth, a specialized variant intended to serve as a replacement for the de Havilland Mosquito, the organization's principal night fighter at the end of World War II. The Gloster Meteor remained in service in large numbers throughout the 1950s, with the F-8 becoming the primary fighter for the Royal Air Force's Fighter Command between 1950 and 1955. Thousands of Meteors were produced during its 12-year production run from 1943 to 1955, and it would go on to play a significant role during the Korean War with the Royal Australian Air Force, and it would also be used by air forces in Argentina, Egypt, and Israel throughout several major regional conflicts. Eventually, the Meteor's time would come to an end when newer jet fighters with swept-wing designs made it obsolete, and it would start to phase out around the world. But even then, its contributions to the aviation world were quite notable and definitely became quite the iconic aircraft, helping to improve military air force as we know it. This was all for today. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to Big Aviation for more.